Here's the myth. Stronger wings are just thicker wings. Here's the math. Strength isn't just thickness, it's where the loads go and how the structure closes the loop. Today I'm comparing traditional wingtips to wingtips that carry scorpioned engines. Think engines perched out near the tips, curling forward like a tail. It looks wild. It can be efficient for VTOL and yaw control. But the wing doesn't care about aesthetics. It cares about forces and moments. On a classic wing, lift is spread out, heavier near the root, lighter near the tip. So the bending moment peaks at the root and fades toward the tip. That's why conventional spars taper down as you move outward. Now add engines at the tips. You've just taken a place that usually relaxes, and you've made it work for a living. There are 3 big consequences. 1. Tip bending. The mass of the engine plus the thrust or prop wash changes the bending moment distribution, spiking it near the end. 2. Torsion. Engines forward or above the aerodynamic center act like levers. Thrust and gyroscopic effects twist the wing, fighting skins and shear webs every second the engine spins. 3. Dynamics. More mass at the tip shifts natural frequencies, which matters for flutter. Flutter doesn't negotiate. You either design away from it, or it finds you. So how do I make a scorpion tip wing stronger without turning it into a brick? I don't just add thickness. I steer load paths. I close the box. Instead of a single spar, I build a closed torque box. Upper and lower skins, plus front and rear spars that actually connect. Closed shapes resist twist far better than open C-channels. I localize reinforcement. If the tip engine sits ahead of the quarter cord, I add caps and shear webs tying the engine mount into the box, creating a short, stiff torsion path. I taper intelligently. Traditional wings taper down outward. Here I micro-taper. Thicken locally near the engine mounts. Increase cap area and use higher modulus material. Stronger where it earns its keep, lighter where it doesn't. I separate roles. 1 path for bending, spar caps. 1 for shear, webs. 1 for torsion, closed box and skins. When each element knows its job, the whole wing stops fighting itself. I mind the margins. Stiffness fights deflection. Deflection changes angles of attack. Angles of attack change loads. I design to a stiffness target, not just a strength target. What about formulas? The math is the same story told rigorously. Bending moment along the span comes from lift plus any concentrated forces at the engine. Torsion equals lever arm times thrust and aerodynamic moments. Materials give me allowable stresses and strains. From there, section properties, area inertia torsional constant, translate loads into what the structure feels. In other words, myth says, make it thicker. Math says, shape the box, place the fibers, close the loops. For VTOL Dragonfly variants, 2 tips, 4 tips, tilt pods. The recipe stays. Define where the forces enter, keep the lever arm short. Close the torque box near the engines, tune the taper, so stiffness rises toward the load, not blindly toward the tip. I also watch dynamics early. Add tip mass. I check frequencies and flutter margins. If they drift low, I stiffen torsion move mass closer to the box. Sometimes the best strength upgrade is a smarter layout. So can scorpion tip wings be stronger than traditional wingtips? Absolutely. If the structure is a conversation between loads and pathways, not a shouting match of extra material. It's a precise, delicate tapering journey, from normal roots to thickened, strengthened wingtips that earn every gram. Inspired and imagined by Mehdi Farzeh from Iran. Myth meets math right at the tip. And that's where the wing starts to make sense.